Hello, welcome back to my channel. I just got back from the bookstore here not too long ago, and I'm super excited to share. I had a list and it had 23 books on it. You never find all the books that you want, but I came home with I think 10 or 12 and maybe only 3 of them were actually on the list. That always happens. Here in St. Louis, it's unfortunate. There is, well, I guess fortunate and unfortunate, there is a half-price books right next door to a Barnes & Noble, so you can't visit one without visiting the other, and it gets me into trouble every time. But I'm super excited to get to share some books with you. The first are the couple books that I found at my half-price bookshop, and for those of y'all who don't know, I am a huge fan of the British murder mystery series, the stuff you see on like PBS, you know, the mysteries on PBS. So Inspector Lewis, Inspector Lindley, Midsummer Murders, Endeavor, that sort of thing. Anyway, Inspector Lindley, which actually came on like 2001. They did 6 seasons, but the British seasons are so short, so I think there were only like 22 episodes like in total, so not too long. But Inspector Lindley was actually based on a book by, or a series of books by Elizabeth George. So I bought Elizabeth George, Believing the Lie, and Elizabeth George, A Banquet of Consequences. Both of these are Inspector Lindley novels. So anyway, I picked those couple up. Those were complete impulse purchases. The other ones that I picked up were actually from Barnes & Noble. This was actually on my list, and it's The Happiness Project. It came up on my YouTube feed. Oprah Winfrey did a Super Soul Sunday. This is written by Gretchen Rubin. She did a Super Soul Sunday interview with Gretchen Rubin years and years ago. I think this came out in 2010. And anyway, it just sounded like such a great book, and it's basically just the way that Gretchen Rubin, over the course of a year, she decided she was going to be more present and notice something or do something different every single month, and then stack those little habits on top of one another over the course of a year. And at the end of the year, her idea is that she would be more happy in her everyday life. And so I thought this would be awesome. It's The Happiness Project, or Why I Spent a Year Trying to Sing in the Morning, Clean My Closets, Fight Right, Read Aristotle, and Generally Have More Fun. The next book that I have is Rising Strong by Brené Brown. Brené Brown, actually, I've listened to one of her audiobooks. I recently finished another one of her books, Daring Greatly. I really like the way that she talks about sort of becoming your authentic self, confronting shame, being more vulnerable. I think her perspective is pretty amazing. For those of y'all who don't know, I have spent part of my career as a leader, a people leader in sort of corporate America. And as a leader, you always want to understand how you can be a better people leader and engage more. And so I think her books, for me, they've helped me personally, but they've also helped me professionally. So I'm super excited. Rising Strong, How the Ability to Reset Transforms the Way We Live, Love, Parent, and Lead. For those of you who are parents, she has a parenting manifesto. She talks about it in Oprah Winfrey's The Path Made Clear, but she also talks about it in Daring Greatly. You should absolutely check that out, because her parenting manifesto, I'm not a parent, and it absolutely made me cry and love her to bits. And then I don't remember where I got this recommendation. This wasn't on my list, but I saw it and I thought I would pick it up. But this is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. It sounds pretty exciting about a girl who decides to re-examine a closed case for a project that she's working on in high school. So it's a mystery, and I don't know, it sounded kind of fun, so I thought I would check it out. This is actually one of the books that I plan to read for my blog this week, so the review for that should go up sometime next week. I don't know when you guys see this, when it'll go up, but it probably will actually already be up. And then I impulsed these 3 books. They were all in the sort of value section. And these are all authors that I've read so long ago and I haven't read them in so long, and so I decided to pick them up. The first one I got is Nora Roberts' Shelter in Place, because that's what we're doing, is we're sheltering in place. I used to read Nora Roberts more when she was just kind of romance. This is, my goodness, the 90s, the early 2000s. And I know she started writing under J.D. Robb, or I figured out that she was writing under J.D. Robb. And so she's actually gotten a little bit more into the romantic sort of mysteries, which I also like. And so I thought this would be kind of fun to re-explore and re-get to know Nora Roberts. This one is Mary Higgins Clark, and I have not read a Mary Higgins Clark novel, I think it was since I was in college. So that would be like the late 90s. It has been a good bit since I've read Mary Higgins Clark. And so I thought this would be really fun. Not even 300 pages, so it's gonna be super easy to go through. I remember Mary Higgins Clark books taking me just a few hours to read. So, and then the other one is Julie Garwood. This is Julie Garwood Wired. I have not read Julie Garwood in a long, long time. I started reading her, Saving Grace was the first book that I read of Julie Garwood's, and I just remember I was so drawn to her wit and her kind of zany dialogue between her heroes and heroines. And I know back then it was all historical romance. I know that now it's more modern romance, and I think this one actually might even be yeah, it's a bad boy FBI agent must collaborate with a beautiful computer hacker. So it's a little bit more of a thriller kind of mystery. So I just look forward to getting back into Julie Garwood, because it has been so long since I've read a Julie Garwood book. So super excited about that one. I picked up this one. It is Iris Johansen, Night and Day. This is an Eve Duncan novel. I have not read all of the Eve Duncan novels, but I do know, because Iris Johansen, I've read a couple of the Eve Duncans. You don't have to read all of them in order to really keep up with what's going on. She's very concise in her recurring characters. She doesn't keep a lot of extended drama, so it's really easy to catch up with the story, and I really do like the way Iris Johansen writes. And then I don't remember where I got this. This was recommended as well. This is The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy Meyerson. And it says terrifically fun, part mystery, part family drama, part bookstore lover's dream, and then more. It's basically about a woman who used to visit her uncle, and he owned a bookstore, and he would always leave. It almost sounds like scavenger hunt kind of clues for her to find. Anyway, her uncle, they fall out of touch. I guess there's some family drama, and he passes away, and she hasn't seen him in a while, but she inherits his bookstore, and it turns out he has left her yet another kind of scavenger hunt clue to pick up on. So it sounds really good, and I'm really excited. I've never read Amy Meyerson, but I'm excited to get to try that one. And then I did not pick these up today, but I just wanted to, because we're reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for the blog. We're also reading these two for the blog. I say we because I refer to myself as we, which is weird. Dorothea Benton Frank, By Invitation Only. This one to me just sounded like summer. It's just one of those low country of South Carolina at a barbecue thrown by. It sounds like one of those kind of fun, beachy read about women, about friendships, that sort of thing. And then The Glass Hotel. This is by Emily St. John Mandel. I know I think this was still in the Barnes & Noble sort of new fiction bestseller section. I started this and I got to, I think, page 15, and I wasn't really getting into it. At page 15, I don't know that I really give it a chance, but I thought I would go ahead and try to give it another chance. So those are the 3 books that I'm going to be reading for the blog. By the time you see this video, I will have the book reviews up for these on Goodreads and also on my blog, so feel free to visit me then. I am super excited. Thanks for sharing this haul with me. It's really nice to share with people who get just as giddy about getting new books as me. Anyway, take care. I'll see you next time.